Today, we are going to interview a couple. They have a toddler, and when they came to HIC Parenting Education, they were struggling with constant power struggles, the battle of wills, getting their son to do something. And as they mentioned, it was like if the harder they pushed the child to listen, to comply, the harder things got. And then today I'm going to share with you this interview where they share with us how they turn it around, how they went from all those power struggles, from that defiance, from that feeling like what's going on. The podcast alone is not helping me what's going on to really having a great relationship with their son. By the way, they are one of our graduates, our recent graduates in HIC Parenting Education. They worked with our coaches for 14 weeks, and I'm going to share what they have to say on how they were before, what was the transition for them, and the tools that they gained in order for them to get the results that they have now. Hello, Lisa and Diane. I'm so happy to see you here after your 14 weeks in HIC parenting. Could you please share with us a little bit more about your family? How many kids you have, the ages of your kids? What was your main parenting struggle? What pulled you to enroll in HIC?
Well, we have a little boy who just turned 3 on July, at the end of July of this year, and he's a wonderful kid. He's got a beautiful spirit. He's very funny, very affectionate, very emotionally intuitive already, which is surprising and exciting all at the same time.
And then it changed, and another child emerged, and we thought we knew what gentle parenting was until we actually had to do it. And somehow we became our own living means of, I just need you to, and stop doing this. And it just became a struggle. And we were raising our voices more than we usually do. And we were short with ourselves. And the first day that it had happened, where we experienced a meltdown, that was like first for us. He was maybe 2.5 or something, maybe no, two 9 months, because it's been just before we took the course, so like 9 months. And then I just Googled gentle parenting, and you popped up, and I was like, ooh, that she sounds like she knows what she is talking about, because I mean, you hear it and you're like, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, well, I wasn't doing that, but okay. And so we tried out one of the tools of just making sure that the last word that we said was what we actually wanted. And that was something we weren't doing. We were actually doing the opposite of it. Stop running.
And he hears running.
I said, stop running.
Keep running.
And you're just like, why does he keep running? And it was like, and then you explained it to us, and we were just like, oh, okay, got it. And so we started making those subtle adjustments. And then the next night came and went, and it was a struggle to get him to brush his teeth. It was a struggle to get him to take a bath. It was a struggle to get him to put away his toys. And none of these things were problems like a week ago.
And he was at that stage where he was starting to really test his will and push against the boundaries, and we just didn't have a language for how to
navigate
with him in those times. And so old stuff now that I realize there's sort of old trigger stuff would happen in me. And we found, like, the more force that you used, or the more, for me, it would be consequences. Well, then, if you're not going to put away your toys, then you don't get toys. So then we're going to take these toys away for the rest of the night, and you don't get to play with them until tomorrow. And then that triggered a massive meltdown, and which would make me stick further to my guns, because he has to learn. If he doesn't learn, then there's, if he doesn't realize that there's a consequence to the actions, then the toys are going to be out all the time. He's never going to put them away.
He's never going to learn to clean up after himself. But what we didn't realize were we were becoming like the weight that he would use to strengthen his resistance to whatever it is that we were going for. So he was now in the gym of building up his own resistance, and we were giving him plenty to be like, we're going to pile on some more weight. We're going to pile on some more weight, thinking that it was going to have a different effect. And then Q the third day, and we were just like, sold. I want well, all those other parents be talking about. I don't want this to turn into the new relationship we have with our kid where we're constantly batting up against a wall. And I just thought, someone's out there teaching this. So we have nothing to lose at this point. Like either we continue on the way that we are, or we actually get help and we kind of nip something in the bud.
Lisa, and I have a question because you are a conscious parent. You were already educating yourself. When you enrolled in HIC parenting, you already were an educated parent. You said you were Googling, you said that you were researching, you were doing your own homework. So out of all the information that you had, what pulled you to say, well, this is not enough. I need to have direct contact with a professional and hire a parenting coaching program? What pulled you to say, no, I need more than just articles and books. I need a parenting coach?
It's like getting a phone number, but not getting the order that you really need to put it in so that you can actually dial into who you're trying to call. And so the information is all out there, yes. But then there are those moments where you're like, I actually would like someone to step me through the basics of like gentle parenting. And when it was presented as something that you really learn how to do it in a way where it's not just lovey-dovey language and being a good person, it's actually like doing the deep work that makes you a secure parent, these are all terms that we've learned now, but it was, what kind of investment do we want to make in our family? Like, I would just as easy spend the money on a trip, but that trip wouldn't be very fun if you're dealing with temper tantrums and meltdowns. And, so we were just like, somebody has the information out there, and you were really coming up as the forefront of it. And I already loved what you were doing in your YouTube videos and in snippets. And I was like, well, if you can have that drastic a shift in our home with a 5-minute YouTube video, I wonder what the full course is like. Honey, do you want to take it? Because we're in between meltdowns and just looking at our kids being like, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We'll find a way, but put on your, like it was just going back and forth between the idea of gentle parenting and the practicality of gentle parenting. And we're like, are we really going to do this? Are we doing this? Or are we going to say what we're doing this? And then, when it gets tough, we just break down and just do whatever we did.
Really was a promise that we made to our son in a moment of him having a big meltdown and us realizing we don't have the tools to help you right now. And every time we would have one of those, we would just walk away feeling really awful inside, like we need to do better, and we just don't know how. And when you get triggered, and I didn't realize how often I get triggered at that time, there was no way of communicating with them. We were already off the path. So it was really going, we need to address this, and we want to, and we will find a way to communicate better to you and help you through this.
Oh, I need to take a deep breath. I'm about to cry here. I'm sorry. Such a profound work that I do. That's why I just realized that I'm truly in the business of giving people hope, because there is hope. There is always a better way. We don't have to finish our children's childhood in frustration, overwhelmed, battling their will. So fast forward to 14 weeks. Now, where are you at? How do you feel parenting that amazing, brilliant mind 3-year-old?
It's so good. It's like, oh, I knew parenting could be like this. I knew it. I mean, we have one, so obviously there's less stress and demands on us, and there's 2 of us. But at the same time, just having the tools to be able to communicate with him in a way that he understands, and we've learned to understand him. And I mean, one of the biggest wins that we had was learning to mirror each other. And so our first thing was, our son has an issue with transitioning, that like He doesn't like to put away his toys. He doesn't like to have to go to the bath, that he doesn't. So it's like, oh, he's got this big issue with transitioning. And then when we really zoomed out on that, we were like, I think we all have an issue with transitioning, actually. And we started to look at our behavior around how we were moving him from cleaning up his toys to getting ready to go to the bath and getting ready for bed. And like the transition was so stark. It was just like music off, shades down, light. And it was just like, whoa. It's like the warden just said, like, everybody lights out and the prison block is shut down. And it was just like, oh, maybe we could be a little bit smoother like that. And so we were mindful of letting ourselves have space to do that. So we took rushing out of the equation.
And keeping it fun.
And keeping it fun.
That every step along the journey has fun. So even though we don't even call it tidying up anymore. He'll say tidy up, and we're like, no, we're playing load the train tracks with the dump truck into the bin.
Yeah.
We're dumping the tracks into the bin with the dump truck.
I don't want to see you not having a good time while you put away those cars.
And meanwhile,
I love that, because as he's associating responsibility with fun, he's going to take that for his life. And when he's an adult, he will know what brings life to him and what does not. And then he's not going to stick in a job just because it pays the bills. He's going to follow his path, his desire, what brings him joy, what brings him passion. And from there, he's going to build a career, and he's going to feel very fulfilled, just because when he was younger, his parents helped him associate responsibilities and life with having fun. And that's a gift that you are giving your son, and that not many of us had. We had to learn to enjoy life. We had to learn to relax. We had to learn to breathe, to stop, to just take our time, to take a space for ourselves, because nobody showed us that it was possible when we're growing up. So that's amazing, the work that you're doing, that is not just for the now, but you're truly setting your son up for life success. These are tools that are not just serving you now, they're going to serve you until your son leaves home. They're going to serve him as he faces his adult life. So I'm so excited to see what's to come for you, for your family. I have another question for you. Was there any hesitation when it came before enrolling, like any of, I don't know if this is for us, or maybe I should read another book? Was there anything in your mind that was stopping you from taking the leap?
No, we were very committed to finding a solution that was of the highest good for everybody, and wanting to make sure that it was a decision that we didn't make out of, can we afford it? It's like, can we afford not to learn how to actually do this gentle parenting thing? I don't think we can. I think we need to be able to model what he's learning in his Montessori school at home. I think we need to understand what level he's at and what he's capable of understanding, and learn how to communicate with him the way you would learn another language, to communicate with somebody who speaks a foreign language, and to be a true guide as he navigates. Oh, I woke up and I'm taller and I'm stronger and I can do more things, so I'm going to push those boundaries. I'm going to see what I can do now. And not that our home is perfect, like our kid doesn't ever cry or have moments where he expresses big emotions. We just have so much more forgiveness and compassion in our home. There's so much more space for those big feelings, and we often call it a rainbow, because he'll feel the big feelings, go through it, and then come out on the other side. And in those moments, we've learned to stop talking because of what you shared with us. It's like, he doesn't need it's going to be okay, you're totally fine, mommy and daddy love you. He doesn't need that right now. He actually needs us to be the most secure parent we can possibly be, so he can feel safe to be as insecure or unsecure as he feels in this moment. He's like, but I feel safe with you guys to be like this. And we didn't know that before. It all sounds so obvious when you say it, every time we would get to a new lesson, you're like, well, when you put it like that, well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'd respond better if people, you know, navigated my emotions like that. If people gave me that same respect, that same understanding, I mean, who wouldn't love to be treated this way? And so it seems so obvious, but we just didn't know. Like, you just don't know what you don't know.
And we did, there was like a navigation, that sort of the training session where you could come and watch and then speak and, you know, with someone and find out whether this program would work for you, you know, whether we would be a good fit. And even just doing that, we were like, we already know, we don't have any questions.
Yeah,
This is
we're
something
an
we want
easy sell.
to dive into. Because the tools had already worked for us. Like, we'd already seen amazing transformation in our communication with our son, and our relationship with him. Even something as simple as, I mean, it seems simple, but the range of options to give him, so that there's play in it. Getting him to brush his teeth. He now has, like, in both of our bathrooms, 2 sets of toothbrushes. And so
me
he gets
too.
tools, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Throw $7 at the problem, give him his options, and now he gets to
Yeah,
choose, and
exactly.
everybody's happy.
and
It
we
was
learned
a
that before doing
$7
the
solution. Yes.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
the
we learned that from a YouTube video that you had, and we were like, if these little
that
snippets
works.
are
I want to know
any
what else there is. You
any
know?
indication of what you could learn if you go all the way in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was not your coach. You were
Mhm.
coached by one of our amazing HIC parenting coaches. A lot of parents, or not a lot, but some parents may say, but I want Marcela to coach me. Yet all of our coaches have the same training and we coach the same way. What was your experience being coached by one of our coaches?
Oh, she was wonderful.
Yeah, we had
And
Cynthia. And she
yeah,
was,
so insightful. And just, I mean, the beauty of it is to have something come up in the present and talk to somebody and get, well, try this, was so helpful, because she helped us navigate dealing with parents, new situations, because now our kid is at an age where he's going to birthday parties, and how to navigate what our value systems are versus other people's, not labeling it right or wrong, just different. And
so what are strategies to set your boundaries, so that, you know, when he's out there, part of what we believe and we practice here can still be observed in some way, so he's not getting conflicting information.
like, but I thought,
so how do you do that when you're going to another child's birthday party, and they've got tons of candy that we don't
like,
normally.
but I thought we didn't have high fructose corn syrup. You're like, oh no, we don't. We don't. We don't. We have cupcakes for you though, and other kids who want them. But we brought, that was just a solution that she'd given us. I was like, oh, that's so great. That's I wouldn't have thought of that. But again, so everything's very simple and very easy to implement.
So you brought your specific scenario, and then she gave you the specific solution, something
exactly
that on a social media post, on one of our videos. What would you tell a parent who's on the fence, who's there how you were 14 weeks ago? In a battle of wills, everybody's energy escalated. They're trying to look on social media, and then they get some snippets of magic, and then it seems like it's always a hit or miss. And then they hear about HIC parenting and they're thinking about it, but they don't know if this is for their family. What would you tell them from your experience?
I would say you need to, you have nothing to lose. Any investment in increasing your knowledge of parenting and providing a better environment for your child is going to be for benefit. But this training is so comprehensive. The fact that you spend 14 or 10 out of the 14 weeks just on yourself is phenomenal. And everything that you learn about what it takes to be, like, what is a secure parent? What does that require? What does that entail? Everything from, like, just the education of learning your child's developmental stages has helped us profoundly, to be able to go, these are not expectations that we should have of our child in this scenario. But we would naturally, we would assume, well, I've told you this before, why wouldn't you, why don't you understand that? Well, is because his developmental stage isn't there. His impulses are going to take over. And so knowing that, having that knowledge makes it so much easier in the moment to relax, to regulate yourself, because you realize it's not so much your child, it's you being triggered, you know? And that was massive eye-opening knowledge. And without knowing that, you don't realize how much you are contributing to the scenario. And it's harder to just free up that space, to know how to regulate yourself, and to free up the space, as Lisa said, for their big emotions to have space, and to know that it's okay, and experience it. And we will help you find a better way of expressing it, a way that will help you achieve the need that you have. So it is worth it. It is well worth it. And if you're worried or concerned, you've got nothing to lose. So why not try?
Right.
I would definitely say to the parent who is on the fence about this, if you're asking yourself, can an online course really change not only my life, but my family? The answer is yes, like 100%. In 14 weeks, you can have tools that let you be the parent I know you want to be. And you can either spend the money in all the books and the time that you would be learning everything that is so beautifully placed together in one area over the next 15, 20 years, or you can just do it in one shot right now and learn it all and have the resources at your fingertips. So when you want to come back to it, because your kid's now 2 years older, you're just like, oh, right. Because it's so easy to get into a groove of, we feel so good. And then it's like, whoa, wait a second.
New stage.
New stage. Teenagehood is so different than toddlerdom. So different. It's one of those things that I would say, if you're on the fence, fall on the side of just getting it, because you're going to absolutely love your family unit and how you guys communicate with each other. And you'll be that family that other people are like, so where did you, what's the name of the parenting school that you went to? You can be those friends in your group,
And this work is backed by science. That's what I love about it, is all of the resource materials are there for you to go and do your own further research. And so for the weeks that I went, wow, that's really heavy. That's going to take a bit more time, and all of this is going to take more time. It doesn't happen instantly. It's you sort of touch and learn upon it, and then I think the goal is you just continue to delve in and learn more about that. And the more you deepen your knowledge and education and understanding, the richer the relationship becomes. So you're learning a system that is backed by real scientific knowledge and study. So that's great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for saying yes first to your family and saying yes to HIC parenting. If you found this interview inspiring and you're like, Marcela, I need that direct guidance from an HIC parenting coach. Content alone hasn't given me this kind of transformation with my children. I highly encourage you to apply for HIC parenting education. All you have to do is go to open the description of this podcast episode, or if you are watching us from YouTube, open the description of the YouTube video, and then there is a link there, apply.hicparenting.com. It takes to an application. Fill out your application, give us all your details, because we read that to qualify our parents. If you do qualify, then we will show you our calendar where you get to book a complimentary, yes, a free call with one of our admissions advisors, where you get to explore what your desires are, your struggles, and we will help you road map your path towards success. And if it's fitting, if you feel like this is where I want to go, we will enroll you in HIC parenting education. So again, go to it, apply.hicparenting.com, or open the description of this podcast episode, and the link is there for our application. If you have not subscribed to our podcast, subscribe or leave us a review if you already are a faithful listener. And Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at High Impact Club. And remember that information alone won't bring transformation. Application of the information that you are learning here is what brings the transformation in your parenting. I hope to see you next time. Bye.